Finally, I've made it. I have YouTube trolls. I'm well aware that I cannot change everybody's mind. You can think of people throughout history who were persecuted for their beliefs, while popular opinion was that they were controversial and they were wrong, to the point where you can think of someone in history who was actually crucified for for the things he said. People like Socrates, who was killed for questioning. And that's to be expected. And there's going to be a tipping point, where first people will hate you. Oh, they'll hate you. They will hate you until they love you. The philosopher Plato had an allegory about people who were prisoners in a cave. And all they knew was life in this cave. They were forced to only stare at the wall. They could only look ahead at the wall. They could not look left or right. They could not look to each other. They could not even look at themselves. They could only stare at a wall. And in between where they were fixated at the wall, in between the point they were and the wall, there was a place in between where people were going back and forth, and the prisoners could not see the people. They could only see the shadows of the objects that they were carrying, because there was light from a fire that was casting the shadows on the objects. Essentially, they're watching, their whole life was a shadow puppet show. Well, one day, one of the prisoners escaped. One of the prisoners managed to get loose. And in one part of the narrative, the prisoner was frightened by what he saw, because he was told that this was reality. In this narrative, that prisoner who saw, other than the shadows, but he saw the fire, he got frightened and he went back and retreated back where it was safe. And he put himself back in chains and stared at the wall. In another part of the narrative, the prisoner manages to escape. Once he climbs out of the cave, his eyes adjust to the light, and for the first time he sees the light outside of the cave. Flowers, the sunlight, and everything that was happening in the world outside, and discovered that this is reality. And the person comes back into the cave in this narrative now, in a third narrative, comes back to the cave and tries to explain the reality that he knows, that he witnessed. He tries to explain it to the other prisoners, and the prisoners don't believe him. The moral of the story is that not everyone's going to believe you. People have their own version of reality. I want to invite you to click the link and get in touch with me. Okay, thanks for being awesome.